Alright.
Okay, so what can I say other than praise Cone? And okay.
Hopefully it's working. I mean, this is... Yeah, so I don't know how we're going to deal with this, because if this is an issue, then not sure how the rest of the marathon's going to go. But,
Well,
I mean, this is working at least.
yeah, okay. So are you gonna have like delay if I try to count down because of Discord?
Yeah, I'll just do it based on the video feed.
Okay,
Don't
you'll
worry about
get
it.
okay, yeah, all right. So yeah, hey, it's your boy Void coming in with the Remnant Doom run. All right, so I guess we might as well start as soon as possible because we're already behind, right? Just
Yeah, go
yep,
for it.
okay, just go for it. All right, 3, 2, 1, go. Alright, so yeah, as I said, Remnant Doom, we're doing 66 star, which is what we call intended star count, which means you beat the game using the number of stars that, you know, the creator intended you to get. And the reason it's 66 is because you need 65 stars to enter Bowser 2, and then you need to get 1 star in Bowser 2 to warp you into the fight, at which point you can then get the second key, which gives you access to the final level. So I'm just going into the first level, the only one I have access to right now with my 0 stars. Blue Haze Valley. Okay. Just, you know, a good level in general. A lot of vertical movement. You're essentially just climbing up the outer ring of a big valley. A lot of variety in how you move. You gotta do a bunch of, like, triple jumps and stuff all over the place to get enough height, but, you know, they're not so cumbersome that they have to, like, stop your movement ever, so it's nice and flowing. You get to do everything that you want to do without having to be slow about it. Alright, this is going alright so far, as far as I can tell. Yeah, this level is mostly you follow a single path, and then, you know, there are kind of stars that are scattered along through little detours along the way. So I'm going to be going for the longest one right now. You know, before on the first star I went to the left here, but now I'm going into this pipe. Oh, jeez, that's bad. Now I have to climb up there again. But actually, since I have low health, just gonna go for this star instead. So there it kind of looked like I went through a wall a little bit, but that kind of happens when there's a wall hitbox very close to a ceiling hitbox. Essentially, the other side of the wall hitbox affects you before the ceiling hitbox does, and so it just, you kind of get teleported through the ceiling, and so, you know, you're fine. You don't bonk into anything, and you just keep going. Okay, got the jump. So I'm intentionally gonna get burned here. Okay, this... I didn't get burned as early as I wanted to, so things are not gonna be going quite the way I want them to. Okay, I didn't die. I already lost 2 health from whatever it was that happened earlier, so I was kind of afraid there, but turned out okay. Alright, so now we move on to the next level, because the other stars in that level were too slow. The theme on this one is a snowy mountain that's covered in lava, because that makes sense. Okay. So you use this heart that's now in the shape of a mushroom because you reskinned it to do these lava bounces without dying, and then you can go on your merry way. Hit the fly guy. Okay. And then there's these panels that were not in the original Super Mario 64. They're kind of inspired off of these same type of things in Super Mario Galaxy. Someone known as Kaze Ivanowar created these objects and created a patch that allows people to put them into their hacks. There were several objects like that were made by Kaze, or I guess programmed by him. They were kind of taken from other Mario games, really. So I wouldn't say he really created them, but he, ported them into Super Mario 64. And that sort of thing will be used a decent amount in this game, actually. Anyway, yeah, that cannon there, I had to open that because it allows you to access another part of the level that has 2 fast stars in it, so even though those panels took quite a while, it's still worth it because you open the cannon while you're doing them. And that, gives you access to more stars. Because, yeah, the point of this category is to collect 65 stars as fast as you possibly can, which means you get the stars that take the shortest amount of time to collect. And, that's what I'm doing here. So, you saw those platforms. You normally would have to jump across those to get over here, then drop down. But because that spin drift is there, we can get here a lot faster, and it's a lot easier, because those platforms... I mean, they're pretty big, so it's not like that difficult, but doing them quickly is kind of scary. So that's a nice strat there. Yeah, so this star is called Surfing on a Shell. We're not going to be doing that, because we don't need shells. Well... Oh, wait, do we ever use shells in this run? We might not ever use them in this run, now that I think about it. I could be wrong, though. But yeah, we can just do some wall kicks and jump over the lava without dying to it, so everything's okay. But yeah, more standard stuff, just jumping around, going places, grabbing stars. That's mostly what this hack's about, there's nothing too crazy in terms of skips as far as speedrunning goes, other than, well, I mean, there are a couple, don't get me wrong, but... I mean, the first one was in the first level, when I did that triple jump wall kick onto the pillar area. I guess I didn't really mention that at the time, but yep, that's what that was. Nope. Okay. There we go. Yeah, I mean, one thing you'll notice in this game is that I don't really use jump dives very much because there are very few instances of open, flat ground where there's nothing there. You know, there's always something that you're doing. So you always gotta adapt your environment by using different types of movement. I say that because the optimal way to traverse flat ground is by jump dives. Although there is one exception. I mean, see, there wasn't much going on there, right? It was just kind of going there, so I just used jump dives. Right here, though, these particular jump dives are sick. Because, you know, look how risky that is. I'm like landing right on the edge of a platform and then, and then rolling out to cross the gap. And then I missed the jump for that one. That's great. Okay, I guess I'll just go for the crap trap. What is happening? Okay. Yeah, I kind of lost my momentum, so I couldn't do, like, the good movement, but whatever. We got there. And now for, you know, an extreme hack staple, the arch, where you have these walls, but you got like a ceiling above it. And what you gotta do is drift out to go above the ceiling, but not bonk your head on it. A bit of precision that I'm failing to do, apparently. So yeah, just a tower of doing arches over and over again. So, you know, playing this game casually, you know, to get this star, you'll have to get pretty good at those things. Although you never really die from them, so you get as many tries as you want. In other, well, I guess you can't really say this hack is considered extreme, but, you know, it's kind of on the edge between extreme and not extreme. Like, it has, you know, certain types of jumps that are the type of thing that happen in extreme hacks. But they're usually pretty safe and pretty lenient in terms of how such things can go. The thing about this version is you only need to get 80 coins in order to get the star. Usually in the original game it's 100. But where is the... there it is, okay. But in this version you only need 80. And so that makes them faster. And, you know, makes it worth collecting coins in some levels in order to get an extra star. And yes, the one very nice glitch that happens because of Kaze objects. See that spring down there? That's going to become important real soon. Alright. So I'm just going to go to the top of this little tower of, you know, Kaze platforms. Grab the star, but then the bouncer is going to cancel my starfall. And so I will be able to move again instead of, you know, doing the star dance and warping out of the level. This allows me to keep all my coins and, you know, be here so I can go and collect more stars in the level. Very nice. Okay. Alright. Okay, and that right there, the flag that says checkpoint on it, is what we call a checkpoint. The next time I enter the painting to go into this level, I will start there instead of at the beginning of the level where I would normally start. This saves time, because after I get this star, there's still another star I want to get. And that flag is closer to that star than where you'd normally start. And so it just saves a little bit of time. Also, if you end up dying, then, well, you lose less time than you otherwise would have, because, you know, you're not, you spawn closer to where you need to be to get the stars. Yeah. So it turns out we get all 7 of the stars that are in this level. I think there are only 3 levels we do that with in this run, which is kind of a lot, I guess, for an ISC category, but oh well. Mostly because of checkpoints and 80 coins is why that happens. It's like once you spend the time going to get a checkpoint, it brings you closer to a lot of stars, reducing the amount of time that you need to be in the level to collect them, and you know, therefore making them worth collecting because you don't need to take as long to do so. Okay. Now for a fairly easy level. Maybe it's not a good idea to say that, but like, there's not much that can go wrong. Now there is something that can go wrong. I will admit that, but it'll be fine. Yeah, normal Mario things. There are just little rabbits everywhere. Well, not everywhere, just in one place. And when you grab them, they give you a star for some reason. But it just happens. Alright, so yes, this is a water level, which is why I say it's easy. Although, I'd say this is only half a water level, the other half is not a water level. Because, you know, you go up into the cliffs that are around the lagoon. But yeah, the first 2 times I go here, I'm just going to be swimming. There is a checkpoint on top of the cliffs, and that checkpoint, you know, once I reach that, then the level gets good, and you're not just swimming. Because we all know no one likes swimming. Okay. So normally you'd talk to that Bob-omb to open the cannon, but as it turns out, in this version, when you select star 2 here, a pipe appears where the star was, and the pipe takes you right to the checkpoint, which is normally what you'd need the cannon to get to. But, you know, since the pipe is there, it turns out it's faster to use the pipe than it is to, you know, talk to the Bob-omb before you grab the star and then go the normal way. I'm not exactly sure why he added that pipe there in 1.2. I guess in case people happen to, like, go in here after they already collected star 1, but, like, I don't know why they do that. It's like they already went here to get star 1. Anyway, right at the checkpoint, here we go. We actually go back to swim some more, though, because there's a star in here. Yeah, but I just wanted to grab that checkpoint now so that I can spawn there later when I enter the level for future stars. Swimming. Alright, okay, there's a little more swimming in this level, but there's pretty much no more swimming, okay? You know, unless I mess up. If I mess up, then then we'll be swimming. Alright, so yeah, more Kaze objects. These ones from Super Mario Sunshine. Yeah, I got this metal cap, so I'm in the water, but I'm not swimming because I have a metal cap, and I can't swim when I have a metal cap. But it is going to run out, and once that happens, I'm going to have to swim again, but, you know, it's not for long. So you press this switch, some boxes appear, and then you wait for your metal cap to wear off, and you swim up to get onto the boxes, and there's a star. Okay. Alright, now for the one thing that can go wrong in this level. Get hyped for me messing this up. Even though, like, this is also the best star in the level, because it's just great. Look at this. I'm gonna go so fast. Super speed. Oh, yeah. Okay, no, we got it. We're good. We're chilling. I mean, this next part might look a little intimidating, but no, it's free. Don't worry. See, it's, like, so thin and everything, and it's all scary. But, you know, you just kind of do some long jumps when you're there. Great star, the best, okay? In this level, anyway. There are better levels. Alright, so now we've gone and done our easy level, so now it's time for the hard level. Sunset Death Sand Canyon. Pretty much, it's a desert and there's quicksand everywhere, so that's how it goes. Alright. Also pyramids. Pyramids. Okay. Okay, that bird swooped, so I should be okay. Yeah, we're good. Yeah, so, once again, some panels. The star is actually relatively long, but there's a somewhat shorter star locked behind it, so we get it in order to yeah, get that other star. Okay, that actually went well. It's a bit of a scary star. There are some things that can go wrong. Okay, Extreme Hack Staple number 2, crossovers. See how you're like wall kicking between walls? You gotta like drift out and then go to the next set? Yeah, it's great. Okay. It was a bit risky there at the end, but, you know, we have enough height to let grip. Okay, now for the star 2, which is locked behind the panels, where I get red coins. Yeah, so the reason why you need star 1 to get these quickly is because that pipe does not exist when star 1 is selected. So you need to select star 2, and in order to do that, you need to have obtained star 1. Oh, he didn't steal my hat! Oh, we kept our hat, and I forgot. Okay, usually that bird will steal your hat while you are doing the star dance, but I got lucky and he didn't. Okay. So normally I have to wait for him to dive at me and then hit him so that he's stunned, and then collect the star so that he doesn't have time to go and steal the hat. But, yeah, I kind of forgot about that for some reason. I don't know why that would be. But, yeah, okay, so now I'm collecting coins. This is another of the 3 levels where we collect all 7 stars. Which is kind of funny, because it's, you know, one of the harder levels in the game. But it just happens to be fast, because checkpoints. Okay. What? Okay, this way. No, not that way. Oh well. It's not that big a deal. Okay, so here's the checkpoint. I guess I'll play it relatively safe. You know, instead of jumping all the way to this platform with double jump, I'll just... Because there's an invisible wall there that you can sometimes hit, and I don't want to risk that while trying to collect coins. I'd lose a lot more time during 80 coins than I otherwise would. Okay, that should be it. But I'll do like the full good strat, hopefully, when I do another star that's, you know, in this neighborhood. Alright, this is gonna be amazing. Just, if I do this right, that is. Hopefully, I do. Come on, pyramids. Let's go. Pyramids! Yeah, there we go. Alright, see? That was cool. Alright? It definitely was. You can't deny it. Definitely solid pyramids right there. I mean, the strat that I'm about to do is also amazing. Because, you know, anything that involves high-speed sliding is just cool. That's just how it works. And, like, momentum double jumps, where you, like, land on something and just double jump. Look at that. Okay. Alright, that's course 5. That went entirely well, I think. I don't think anything went wrong. Huh. That's pretty unusual. Alright, so we need 30 stars before we can go to Bowser 1. Got 29 right now, that means we need one more. And we're gonna get it at this level. Rainbow Space. Yeah, we got some invisible platforms here that you gotta... Alright, we got the speed kick double jump strat. So yeah, that dark rainbow stuff is quicksand, so if I step in that, oh my. Okay, I died in rainbow space. Beautiful. Alright, failed the speed kick, so we gotta just triple jump instead. Okay, there's like 15 minutes between somewhat best and estimate. So like, we'll be fine. We'll make it. Okay, we're here. Lava bounces with the heart. Yay. Alright, now we're done with this level. That's the 1 star we needed. We're out of here. Also, I have to not crash the game. So, I'm just going to hit the reset button. And then when I enter Bowser 1, the game will not crash. So that's pretty important. Okay. Alright. We did it. Alright, so this level is basically 4 different levels mashed together. I'm gonna go to the... Yeah, they're levels... They're parts of levels from Night of Doom, since... Oh yeah, that's the thing. This is, you know, called Remnant of Doom. It's kind of like an easier version of Night of Doom. Let's see, I guess the strat is now this. Oh, come on. Well, I guess it came back, so there's no point in doing that. What? Okay. If I can just, like, move the man a little bit. Alright. Here we go. Okay. So the point of this level was that you'd have to go to all 4 sections to press a certain switch that would allow you to go to the next section. But there's a skip that allows you to just jump straight to the pipe from the first section. Also, in 1.2, he completely nerfed the level, so you only have to do 1 of the 3 beginning sections, and then... So you only have to do half the level instead of the whole thing, basically. Alright, so Bowser fight. You see, there's lots of quicksand, lots of fire spitters. We've got to avoid all that stuff, so, you know, my movements might seem a little strange here, but I'm just getting myself in position to grab Bowser. I said grab Bowser? There we go. Away from the fire spitters so I can throw him without having to worry about the fire hitting me and interrupting my throw that I totally hit. Hopefully that got it. Did that? Yes, it did. Okay, so I have to... Yes, alright. Okay, so the way that works is once you touch the tail... Alright, it's better to explain it this way. Okay, so there are 3 conditions that you need to meet in order to grab Bowser. You need to touch his tail, you need to be facing roughly the same direction as him, and you need to be somewhat close to him. Right? Those are the 3 conditions you need. But it turns out that touching the tail, you know, once you do that, it just treats it as if you're always touching the tail from that point forward until you grab him. It basically sets a flag, like the tail has been touched, and then once that flag is set, it just stays there until you grab him. So I don't actually need to be touching the tail, I just need to have touched it at some point in the past, which is why he just basically teleports into my hands, because I'm relatively close to him, and, you know, facing the same direction as him. Wait, hold on. Okay, strat. Let's go. So yeah, I'll use that in the final Bowser fight as well, because that arena also has quicksand and fire spitters and amps and stuff all over the place. Oh, I was not where I thought I was. Okay. Let's try this again. So I'll definitely be using that technique to grab Bowser exactly where I want to grab him, and not have to worry about, like, him turning away or anything. I'll just get him, yeah. Because, you know, you grab Bowser near a fire spitter, and then you try to throw him by spinning him around, but then the fire will shoot you, and then you'll be forced to let go of Bowser, probably in the wrong direction. So, you know, you want to stay away from those things. Okay, so this is the third level where I forgot to do... Okay. I keep forgetting my strats. This is awkward. But anyway, yeah, because of coins and checkpoints, we get all 7 stars in the level, and this is the last level we do that for. Alright, so now we just sit on this elevator for a while, and oh no! Yeah, it kind of likes to troll you by just randomly dropping into the quicksand. So if you don't know that's coming, then you might end up being in trouble a little bit. Hopefully... Okay, we should be good. Yeah, if you don't stand on it for too long of a time, it'll disappear. So I was just making sure that didn't happen because I didn't stand on it as long as I wanted to earlier because of that ledge grab. Okay, so then from this checkpoint, you get a little warp here that brings you to the top of the cliff, which is a very nice place to be because, you know, it's like right in the middle of a bunch of stars, so you can just go and collect those after the warp. Okay, alright, alright. Alright, so like the stars over on that castle there, and I only have 23 coins, and I want 80, but this gives me 50, so yep. That's like pretty much all we need. And then there's another ring of 8 around that flag. 73 plus 8 is 81, and so we get 7 of them. And they're watching us right now. And not anymore. Now for this star. An excellent strat coming up. So see that star off in the distance there? That's what we're going for right now. Like normally you'd kind of jump off the cliff and then like walk over there and climb some blocks and stuff. But you know, there is a cannon right here, so maybe we can use that to our advantage. Alright, this is pretty precise. Yeah. Oh jeez. I can't do it. Nope. That looks good. Maybe. Okay, I'm just gonna go with it. If I try to adjust it, I'll just... Yeah, this looks good. Alright, got it. Yeah, so we can kind of land right next to the star. It's a little tough because you gotta, you know, land on the block, slide off, and then wall kick your way back. But it works out if we just aim in the right place. It's a little bit terrifying, but you know, it works out. I mean, sometimes you just gotta believe. So this, what I'm about to do might look like I'm just randomly jumping off a cliff, but I assure you, there's good reason for this. Because yeah, there's a shrink platform there. So this is kind of yeah, this level is based on other levels that Brodude has done in other hacks, and in every single one of those, that little, I don't know, ditch there, I guess you'd call it, with a cave, you know, the ditch going through a cave, there's always a little warp in there that brings you to a star. So that's how you're supposed to know to go there. If, oh, jeez. Yep, I'm just gonna die. Okay. Alright, we'll pretend that I didn't just fall off of the warp zone. Alright. There we go. Okay, now for the second half of the game, which is the dark side of the overworld. So all these levels are just reskinned and mirrored versions of the original levels. But they're also made more difficult and changed up a little bit. Hopefully I did the angle right. I did not. Okay. There we go. Okay. So yeah, there's secrets in these little hollows. Okay. Try this again. There we go. Okay. So yeah, for that last one, you know, the star spawns when you collect the last secret, and since you basically have to wall kick right after collecting it, that can get a little rough, because it's kind of hard to tell when the cutscene's going to end, so you have a pretty short window of being used to that. Although, with my setup, I actually do the wall kick before the cutscene starts, and so I don't really have to worry about that. But if you do, you know, if you don't have that setup, it can be a little rough if you're not used to the timing on that. So yeah, you can see how things are more difficult here. Like, those platforms on the slope were much smaller than they were in Blue Haze Valley. And now this section, which used to just have a star, now is actually the path that leads higher on the level here. See, these parts of it didn't exist before. So yeah, you know, the way you move around the level changes quite a lot because of the slight changes that are made here. So I mean, it's kind of like playing the same levels twice, but it's also not quite playing the same levels twice. It's a nice balance. And you know, since the pillars are no longer there to get up to this point, you know, it has to be an alternate way of reaching here. Yeah, I mean, it's kind of the same style as Blue Haze Valley, so you kind of just climb up the level, take detours along the way to grab stars. Kind of the same path for all of them, for the most part. Oops. Kind of, I was invisible during the cutscene. Excellent. Yeah, because when Mario has recently taken damage and has invulnerability frames afterwards, he just is rendered every other frame, and the game happened to pause itself on a frame where he was not rendered, so you just have an invisible Mario there. Yep. Right. Yeah, there are just no more stars up there, and I kind of went up here, so I gotta get this one. I usually get this one last, because it's like the easiest, and I don't know. But yeah, okay, so now I need to make sure to take the detour right away, because this star is right at the beginning. Well, I mean, you collect red coins right from the beginning, but it is. Okay, so this is probably the one shell that I ever use in this run. Okay, yeah. The other stars that use shells, we either don't get or skip using the shell for. Yeah, okay. So normally there are 8 red coins. I guess I should have mentioned this back when I got a red coin star in like course 5 or something. You only need to collect 6 out of the 8 in this version, because that's just kind of a quality of life update that Brodoot does to hacks, and since this is like an updated version of this hack with quality of life improvements, that's one of the ones that got applied, along with the fact that you only need 80 coins to get the coin star instead of 100. They're pretty standard in modern Star Revenge hacks these days, but yeah, okay. So another red coin star. I'll get stuff. I'm dead. Okay. And I probably could have just missed the red and kept going, because, you know, you only need 6 out of the 8, but that would make it take longer later, and this one, it's just like right there, you can just collect it, you know? Yeah, we'll be fine. Yeah, because you only need to collect 6 of the reds, this star is like actually fast enough to be worth getting. You still kind of have to get it, because you'll see this note block behind me there, to the left, to the right. That doesn't spawn until after you've collected the red star. And, you know, there are 2 stars in that island. So it's kind of like the panel star from Course 2, which, you know, is the mirror version of this course. But, you know, this one is kind of nighttime, and the lava is now purple for some reason. Well, I guess it's ice instead of lava, and it's also purple ice. I don't know why that's a thing, but it is apparently, and yeah. So this little bridge part, back in Course 2, we could use a spin drift to kind of twirl our way over here. Unfortunately, no such spin drift exists at this level, so we can't do that here. We gotta cross the bridge the normal way, and some of the tiles are just lava instead of regular ground, so you gotta be a little bit careful, but, you know, still worth getting. So just like before, you know, you grab a secret and it spawns a star in this little alcove here. The only difference is the locations, really. The other one you can get without ever touching lava, but in this one you have to bounce on lava, there's really no other way. Okay, maybe that's not entirely accurate, because you could probably do no block glitch and somehow avoid it, but we're not going to count that. No. This is also very similar to a star back from Course 2, except the boxes are arranged much differently and a much more difficult way to traverse. And this last one is like the one that we skipped the shell for, except in this one you're never intended to get a shell in the first place. You're just supposed to jump down in there and bounce on some lava. Alright, time for the yeah, I'm not sure what to say about this level, but you'll find out when we get there. You know, the original Course 3 was kind of dark and dreary and had quicksand all over the place. We've changed the quicksand into lava and made things much more brightly colored and friendly, so it's kind of interesting that, you know, most levels get harder and darker when we go from light side of the world to dark side, but, you know, this one decides to break that pattern. Who knows why? Might have something to do with the fact that the music is never going to give you up. Oh yeah, arch right there, by the way. You know, it just kind of casually throws arches at you. It's like, yeah, you should know how to do those by now. You did Course 3. Although I wouldn't necessarily call this a little easier than Spooky Folly Bay, which was Course 3, you know, its counterpart in the light side of the overworld. So, I mean, you still have these arches, like, it's still pretty much the same thing, except now there's lava under them, instead of nothing. And there's also not a heart at the bottom, so you can't restore your health. You know, except for these coins here, of course. Oh jeez. Don't do this to me. I can do arches. I can do them. Okay, more. So instead of collecting secrets, we have these boxes that we gotta go across with super slick movement, gotta say. Alright, so that went pretty poorly, but you know, what can you do? It's a marathon. Alright, let's see what else we got. Alright, that star, okay. So this is a pretty newly discovered strat. I discovered it like last week. Normally this star is not in the route, but I added it to the route and had to cut a different one. So that kind of made the route a bit faster because we get faster stars now. That amp can be troublesome, so I just stalled a little bit to dodge it correctly. Alright, the key strat is jumping onto this slope and... Oh, we made it! Okay, okay. Where am I? I can't see... Alright, we got through it. Okay. I thought I didn't have enough momentum to make it. That jump is pretty tight, so... I got a little scared and, you know, pressed A when I didn't necessarily want to, but yeah, okay. Why is the camera in that mode? So one more star here. There are just some red coins scattered in the first garden part of the level. So you just kind of go around and collect those. It's pretty quick. Okay, there was supposed to be a red there. I guess I missed it, so I'll get the backup over here. Because like I said, you only need 6. So, yeah. Okay. Okay, from now for the dark water level, which becomes much less of a water level. It's only like a quarter of a water level instead of half of a water level like before. And in some places where water used to be, there's just a lot of quicksand, so it's a pretty rough level. Like even getting to the point where you can open the cannon to get to the top of the cliffs is rough. So it takes a really long time. So we don't do it at all. So there's only 1 star we get here now. And it is also probably the biggest skip in the run. Come on. Alright, so we first get on top of this thing here, then we go over here, we long jump and wall kick, and then, dang it, I was short. Okay, let's try this again. Hello? No, why can't you ledge grab? What are you doing? There. I do the ledge grab to set up the camera. Alright, so I'm gonna go here and grab this. And then that was quicksand, and I didn't die. So I should probably explain that. So when you grab the ledge and the platform you grabbed onto is quicksand, it doesn't really kill you until you climb up onto the ledge. And even when doing that, it doesn't kill you until after your climbing up animation is finished. As it turns out, you're able to jump about 7 frames before the animation ends. So there's like a little 7-frame window where you can jump out of it before you die to the quicksand from your animation ending. And yeah, basically Mario's like too busy being in the climb up animation in order to realize that he's standing on quicksand. So if you jump, you're no longer standing, and so you're not standing on the quicksand, and you're not dead. It's great. Yeah, okay. So, you know, harder version of Course 5. We only get 2 stars here this time. Because, well, I mean, this is the hardest level in the game, but there are a lot of long stars here, so we just don't have time to get them. But, you know, we do get pyramids, and pyramids are very good. Okay, just you wait. Oh yeah, that actually went well. Instead of me just barely making it, I had plenty of room to spare. Recently, I have not been having much room to spare, but okay. Alright, so there's only really 1 level left. Okay, somehow my camera angle was weird, but okay, we fixed it. I don't even know what I did. I must have somehow pressed D-pad up without realizing. I don't know how you pressed that without realizing you did, but yep, okay. So yeah, for red coins that don't warp you out of a level, in this version you only need to collect 4 of them to spawn the star, where for red coins that do warp you out of the level. Like, those are actually two different kinds of stars in the game's code. Yeah. Ones that do warp you out, you need 6 red coins out of 8, but for these you only need 4. The reason for that is he wanted to make 4 to lost level parts easier. Specifically, so you only have to do 2 of the sections instead of the 4. Each section has 2 red coins, making a total of 8. But he only wants you to have to do 2 of those sections, so, 2 times 2 is 4, so you only need 4 red coins to spawn the star. And, this rabbit appears again once we get 50 stars, so we had to come back here and grab that, because that's just a super fast star we can get. No reason to leave that hanging, just because we're in the overworld, too. Okay. Also, when I went through this warp zone the first time, there were these red coins, right? I didn't get them then, because I get them now instead. It's just that when I get them, or, when I come out of Forgotten Lands 1 earlier, I spawned slightly further away from the pipe, and the pipe has a red coin behind it, so because of that, I want to get that red coin by the pipe, so it's faster to get it fresh from coming out of the pipe, instead of, after getting a star in Forgotten Lands 1. Which is why I get them now instead of earlier. Yeah, alright, so the last 6 stars we need to get 65 are in this level here, known as Rainbow Drugs, the mirror version of Rainbow Space from earlier. Now, we only got 1 star in the easy version of this level, and we're getting 6 stars in the hard version of this level. Interesting story about this. Back on 1.0, when I first made the route, it was the other way around. We got 5 stars in Rainbow Space, and only 1 here. Wait, why did I get those coins? I need to get this star first. Yeah, what am I doing? Okay. But a lot of new strats were discovered in this level that make a lot of the stars a lot faster. So we do those now, and it's nice. So we used to only get this star, like, it's quick, right? But, the rest of the level after this, there's a checkpoint that's pretty far away. It takes a pretty long time to get to the checkpoint. But because so many stars are so fast to get from this checkpoint, it's worth investing that time in order to get all the stars that are on the way there. Also, it just so happens that you can collect 100 coins, or, well, 80 coins in this case, on your way to the checkpoint without really taking any detours at all, pretty much. So, yeah, that's nice. Alright, so I have to press this red switch to make certain blocks appear, and I need those blocks in order to get where I need to go, so I had to take that detour to press the switch, but this is all on the way to the checkpoint anyway, so, okay. Okay, so now we're at the checkpoint, and okay. Yeah, so there's this blue coin switch that gives us like 40 coins. So that'll bring us from, 29 to 69. Nice. And yeah, okay. Then, there are a few more coins on the way to this star that we want to go to, and so, we didn't really spend very much time going out of our way at all. Okay. Other than, like, killing enemies, I guess. That's pretty much all we did that's out of our way. And the blue coin switch, but that's like 40 coins in a very short period of time, so very good, very worth it. Alright. So that star is pretty close to the checkpoint, as you can see. There's going to be some nice strats coming up, just strat after strat after strat. all discovered, well, like decently a while ago, but you know, when I first started running this game, I didn't know about any of these. So you can jump right onto these pillars here, and then you can also lava bounce right into the star. Getting here and then, you know, climbing up those pillars one at a time kind of takes a while, so this saves a lot of time over that. And there's also a very nice jump right here. So there's just this kind of decoration star in the background here, but it turns out you can kind of just jump on that, and it takes you back to this red switch, which is something that you need to press in order to get this next star over here. In particular, you need this red block to exist so that you can land on it and continue your way up. Oh, come on. There we go. And open the mysterious door box. Alright, so for this next one, there's a warp that you normally take to get down into a certain area, but in order to activate that warp, you need to press a red switch. So then after that, I need to press the blue switch right there. But since I didn't use the warp by long jumping down here, I don't need to... I don't need to press the blue switch because it's already pressed, because the level starts default to blue switch pressed. And it doesn't get unpressed because I'm not forced to press the red switch. So it saves some backtracking. But, you know, the warp that leads you to this area is actually right along the path I'm about to traverse. Right here. See that little glowing thing? That's the warp that I'm talking about. But, you know, you'd have to press the red switch, and then these blue blocks wouldn't be here, and you wouldn't be able to wall kick your way up here. So this long jump actually saves a lot of time, and in fact, the star would not be worth putting in the route if that long jump was not known about. And like I said, when I first started this game, it was not known about until I happened to discover it. Okay. Alright, so that's 65. We just need to do some Bowser levels now. Oh yeah, if Bowser levels go well, by the looks of it, I could maybe get like below 115. Because, you know, this one only takes like 4 minutes, and the next one takes like 5 minutes. Okay, not 115, but like, you know, pretty close to it. And it's more like 3.5 minutes and 4.5 minutes anyway, so like, yeah, okay. As long as I don't mess anything up. Which tends to happen on hexagons, although in 1.2 these are a lot easier than they were on 1.0, because you only need to do 2 of the hexagons in a row in order to get the star, instead of 1. I mean, instead of 4, sorry. Numbers, okay. I mean, he did the same thing with 4 to Lost Level parts, essentially. Like, the levels were structured such that there were, like, 4 independent sections, and you had to do them, you know, one after the other. Yeah, so that's a nice skip there. Normally you take a shell and have to, like, ride it all the way around through, like, that path there, you see. Okay. But yeah, I was able to skip all that and just get the red coin, because that's what you need. You gotta collect these 6 red coins to spawn a star. The star then warps you into the cage that has the pipe that leads to the boss fight, which gives you the key. Oh, not enough speed. Okay. So then this last red coin. The alternative is doing the red and yellow hexagons and collecting the secrets. See these things here? You need 5 of those, so 3 of them are in the center. 1 of each is in the red and yellow hexagons. Yeah, but you saw how fast that blue hexagon was, right? You barely have to do anything, and you get the red coin. The other ones take a bit longer, which is why this one was, you know, the faster option. Alright, so this fight, you know, there are a bunch of hexagons, which, you know, fits the theme, I guess. And there's some piranha plants that you gotta kill. And then they will spawn a key for you. So that purple ground is quicksand, so, you know, for those tiles, you can only go on the edges of them without dying. Yeah, that angle just happens to work out so that I can chain long jump off the corner there and get exactly where I need to go. Then I have just enough health after collecting those 2 coins to do 2 lava bounces. That way I don't have to go around the lava. Yeah, I guess it's somewhat relevant to mention at this point that these life shrooms here, they heal you to full health. They are what he replaced Wannabes with, since he made it so that you have... basically so that lives are no longer a mechanic in the game. Meaning that when you die, you don't really lose a life, you just go... you know, you just get kicked out of the level that you were in. And so you can't game over anymore. But then because 1-ups no longer have a purpose, he just made them full heal you instead. And since in this fight you're forced to lava bounce a lot, he put those life shrooms there to allow you to replenish your health to continue fighting. So then that allows me to open this door. And that takes me right to the final Bowser level. So, yeah. You do Bowser 2 and then Bowser 3 right away. And this hack is a bit of an anomaly. Most hacks, like the key 2 door would lead you to like another overworld with more levels in it, and then there would be another star door that would take you to the final Bowser level. Oh yeah, so get a nice little metal cap lava bouncing section. There are checkpoints along the way in case you die. I don't plan on doing that, but I mean, I don't really have to go out of my way to get these, so I might as well. Little flip there. Oh, well. Too many firsties. Oh, what? Okay. So there's another checkpoint right there, but I don't want to go out of my way to get it, so I'm just gonna not. Alright, so now we're at the final fight. Like I said, I'm gonna make good use of how the Bowser grabs work in this game. Well, if things go well, then I won't really have to, but, you know, things don't always go well. Okay, let's see what he does. Oh, he runs at me. Let's go. First. Uh-oh. It's fine, though. I touched the tail. You don't need to worry. So there's, like, I think a 50-50 chance that he jumps in place or runs at you. So I got the 50-50. If he jumps in place, you just have to wait and dodge the shockwaves. Okay, so there's an amp in the path of where his tail is, so I just moved a little bit so I'm not in its path, right? I missed. Okay. Okay, I'm not in the amp's path. Ugh. And he'll probably be in range of the fire now, so I'll have to... Oh, or not. Okay. So much for good RNG. Well, let's see if we get it again. Nope, there's the jump. Oh, he really doesn't like it this time. Okay. Alright, he's probably in position for me to just... Not quite. That little bit of quicksand on the inner part of the star. It's probably too much. Oh, come on. Get. Oh, no. Oh, that's not where I expected him to go. Yeah, I'm not particularly good at Bowser throws. It's just not something that I really find to be worth the investment to practice. Maybe at one point I should. It's like the one thing you gotta do in every hack. I mean, there are some hacks where the final fight isn't Bowser. So in those, you don't need to worry about it, but like, in this case, it is, but... Yeah, I just kind of usually hope that I don't miss throws. And, you know, most of the time I don't, but of course, this is a marathon, so, you know, it has to happen that way. And yeah, you know, after that first good RNG, he's just like, nah, you don't get any good RNG anymore. Okay, there we go. Good one. Oh! Yeah, I forgot where I was. Okay. I mean, he was kind of over the quicksand, so I planned on jumping into his tail and then drifting back onto non-quicksand so that I could at least touch the tail. And then I'd be able to grab him from basically anywhere without having to worry about him being in quicksand. But, you know, that fire had other plans, I guess. See, that's a much better place for me to land. Once again, inside the amp. Okay, there we go. We got it. So yeah, this run was actually kind of decent up until that fight. Yeah, it was on pace to be like a high 115, and now we're in high 119. Yeah, it was 5 minutes to fight. Or 4? 4. Still, time. Alright, so I gotta like keep streaming, right?
Oh yeah. Congrats on the run, dude. Definitely 5 minutes underestimate, good stuff.
Well, I kind of made the estimate longer than it should be because things like this can happen. So yeah.
Bowser throws are impossible, everyone knows that. So you want to give some shout outs? Tell people to follow you, sell out and such?
Oh, well, if you like Super Mario 64 ROM hacks, the SM64 ROM hack community is actually organizing their own marathon. That'll be about a month from now, around this time in August, actually, where we're just gonna have SM64 ROM hack people play SM64 ROM hacks. The channel is SM64 ROM hacks, where we will have the marathon, and yeah, so there you go.
We have to do something special for you.
I mean, it's as easy to figure out as it could be.
Yeah, I mean, that's what we're about there at SM64 ROM hacks. Yeah.
Listen, everybody.
Well then, we are good to go. I'll transition it over, and thank you for the run, dude. Nice to have you here.